But I think the main things is at the end of the day, volleyball is volleyball. It's in the same 9x9 court, and the rules are the same. So we. Is that on the back of your shirt?
Yeah, it's on the back of the
Beauty,
shirt.
beauty. A little free shout out for you. And it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the net. You need to still execute to the best of your ability if you want a chance to win.
Volleyball is volleyball. Volleyball
Facts.
is volleyball. Volleyball is volleyball. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode number 156. It is May 14th, and this is the 9x9. My name is Everett Delorme, live from Toronto. That is Rob St. Clair, live from Chicago. The blinds I just put up are already falling, and you can see the sun falling across my face, literally as we just started this. So this is a great start to the 81 square meters of the best volleyball in the world. And Rob, we have given out some more hardware. Most of the hardware, major hardware for the rest of the season, with championships being handed out in both Poland and in Italy. It was a great end of the season. Good morning, Aussie. I know I need to get a better microphone. Things are happening. It's in the works. Rob, let's start with Poland. Let's go to the land of red and white, where if you had told me at the beginning of the season that Lublin would have been our champion, that Luk Lublin would win their first ever PlusLiga, I would have told you were stretching for the stars a little bit. I know I got and this is at the beginning of the season, right? Then they go on that great 8-0 run, but even then, I thought that this team was fourth at best in the PlusLiga, but this playoff run has been nothing short of spectacular.
Incredible. They made history in so many ways by winning the PlusLiga title this year. It's only their fourth year in the league, period, which is insane. They are only the fifth different team to win the PlusLiga since it became the PlusLiga in 2000. Only Skra, Resovia, Zaxa, and JSW, those clubs only, had ever won this league before until now. There's a fifth club whose name is added to that list, and the historical significance isn't that crazy?
But that's crazy that it's not Zawiecki or Warszawa, because Warszaw's been knocking at the door now for a while.
No Zawiecki, right? No Warszawa. They have never done what Luk Lublin has now done, and this is something, nobody could have ever predicted this preseason. Even that 8-0 start, like you said, I did not see this coming. The obvious storyline is the greatness and the additional crown or jewel in the crown of the great Wilfredo Leon, but really everybody on all of Lublin played unbelievable volleyball this whole series. Like the match number 4
not only home, series but season,
right? Match number 4 at home, when they won it, was not competitive. It was not close. 22-15-18, and every single body on that stepped on the court for Lublin did their job at an extremely high level, and that includes the crowd. I really do count them in it, because the atmosphere in there was really something special. And like, once Lublin was really pulling away there towards the end, like the championship was inevitable, and you could just feel this like crescendo of the crowd until finally Zawiecki missed the serve or whatever it was to make it official. But it was really special to watch it.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, the way their team has played has been like that all season long.
Yeah.
Though, right? Like they've always been able to do the little things right. Right. I've always found that they've played just a very simple and basic form of volleyball. They serve really strong, they pass decent, they block solid, and they play good defense around it. This was a team that was bought in, and I called them the leftovers a while ago, and I'm going to stick by that, because they played with like a leftover mentality.
Yes,
right?
in a good way.
They played in that with that garbage mentality of like, I'm going to do all of the little things that are necessarily. I'm going to do all of the basic things perfectly, and I'm going to really just push my team in that way. And it was 1 through 7 or 8 on that roster. But I'm gonna say it once again, like, this is a team of leftovers, and this is a bunch of guys who had a chip on their shoulder, who were kind of counted out all throughout the year, and they were able to get it done. It was honestly wonderful to watch, and you really have to get into that question now. Is Leon the GOAT? right? Is Leon the GOAT? He has now won championships. He's the only player in the world to win a championship in Russia, in Italy, and in Poland. But if you look at the way he's done this one too, Rob, right? Like in Russia, he was surrounded by some of the best players in the world. In Italy, I mean, he was on the bench, right? We all thought he was done. And now this one, he puts the team on his back to completely lead them not only throughout the season, throughout the playoffs too. He's the undeniable MVP. Does this make him the GOAT?
So in like kind of modern vernacular, the GOAT thing, meaning greatest of all time, is thrown around way too often for my taste. It drives me nuts, and I only will like say that if I really legitimately mean greatest of all time. And I think that like that's the conversation that needs to be had here about Wilfredo Leon.
Though.
Absolutely.
Truly.
So
100%.
I had a take on last week's show, and the more I've thought about it, I've bought into it more. And this has kind of always been the role that Wilfredo Leon has played within volleyball, but now the parallels are insane. And that's that Wilfredo Leon is the LeBron James of volleyball. He is. And the parallels are really something. So think about it this way. They both start their careers taking their hometown teams to second place, right? Leon, 17 years old, world championship for Cuba, losing the finals. LeBron, Cavaliers, gets drafted number 1 overall, gets a team of nobodies to the finals, can't win it, all right? LeBron takes a step up in his career to go to a situation where he can win a title, goes to Miami, does it. Leon, same thing, goes to Zenit Kazan, he does it. Then I think the order changes a little bit because
also he's on arguably like greatest super teams too.
Oh yeah,
like he goes to join like like a legendary cast of characters that people are going to talk about for a long time.
Right, where like he was the guy, but like he was on his supporting casts were world class and like would have been title contenders without him. So that's true in both cases. Then I think the order switches a little bit because when Leon goes from Kazan to Perugia to me is kind of like the Lakers. And just kind of the role that team plays in their respective sports landscape, I think that makes a little bit of sense. But like Leon, then it maybe, but Leon goes to Perugia. He's the guy again. They build these garbage teams around him with garbage coaches and garbage management. And then, ironically, the year he finally gets it done is when he's hurt and coming off the bench. LeBron goes to LA. He wins a weird championship in the bubble stretch, whatever. But then the real one is like, in between Miami and LA for LeBron, he goes back home to Cleveland and he wins and he does the true like crown jewel in LeBron's career is the Cleveland title for sure. And the same goes
this is somewhat of a homecoming.
Definitely.
As well too.
I think it is. It is a homecoming. Poland is Wilfredo Leon's home now. He goes home and now like this. I know he won all those Champions Leagues. He had those incredible seasons, but would you say this might even be the crown jewel of his career, just because of what it means and because of his indomitable role in getting it done?
It was to me. It was, hey, everyone else is questioning me. Everyone else doubts my greatness. Screw this. This is Jimmy Butler taking the third team and yelling at the Timberwolves GMs, being like, "You guys effing need me." That's what this was. That was that message to the entire volleyball world from Leon. Because not only does he go and lead the Olympics and score in the summertime for two, like we can't discount what he did in the summer with Poland, especially during the Olympics.
The last two Olympics, he was unbelievable.
100%. But I mean, you were the biggest negative beneficiary of that with that epic semifinal, but then he transitions that into taking this group of leftovers. Once again, you have one other world-class player on this roster, and that's the most I'm going to give him. I do think Savitsky, Talis Hos, absolutely. And I think we talked about it. Oh, there goes the blinds. We talked about it at a certain point this season about who is the most important libero to their team after Balasso, because Balasso and his role for Lube is, I mean, he's the captain. That's parallel. For me, Talis Hos has to be the next guy up. There's no guy that has that big of an impact on his team as a libero as Talis Hos in the worldwide scope of club volleyball right this moment. But everyone else, like your next biggest guys in terms of star talent or international talent is McCarthy and Grozanov down the middle.
Right.
Sasak is a secondary player. Komenda is a secondary player. These are guys that we didn't even get to see when we saw the B squad at VNL
Yeah,
many moons ago, right?
Marcin Komenda was the setter for Poland's C team when they played
Yes.
VNL in 2019. They played the finals in Chicago and they took bronze over like a bunch of teams that didn't want to be there. That was Poland's C team, and that was where Komenda was.
I do think that the rise of Nikolai Savitsky was a huge. I think that's kind of what pushed them over the top.
Totally agree.
Man, that his ability to hit balls coming from behind him and pin the sideline and pin that back corner perfectly. I don't know if there's another player in volleyball who can do that as consistently as he has been doing it over the playoffs.
Savitsky was really awesome, and they definitely don't win this series without him and Sasak both. But I mean, Savitsky's numbers in game 1 of the series, he practically won them the match by himself. Match 4, the clincher, he was awesome as well. Like, and then just like the difference in the spark that he brought after Benny Tweenstra kind of fell off at the beginning of the season, like that role he played absolutely deserves a lot of credit for Lublin winning this title. And the same with Kevin Sasak, like you said, like. Talk about like role players playing their best in the biggest matches of the year. Sasak in a clinching game, 11 for 16, no errors, 3 aces for 14 points. Automatic.
Yuck.
It was automatic.
And the thing is too is he just plays such a uniquely his own style. He doesn't try to be anyone else. He doesn't try to be too much. When we've got guys like Butrin who bang, like Butrin and Grosjean who bang the ball, or Bowl Lounge who's really vippy. I find that Sasak he doesn't hit the ball exceedingly hard, but he hits the ball pure and he makes good shots consistently. He makes really good decisions. And
he's a good team contactor, and he moves the ball around pretty well.
Like Massimo Botti has to be in line for the coach of the year in the entire world right now.
Another guy who deserves a massive amount of credit.
Like there's just so many guys who stepped up consistently, up and down this lineup. And I think it was really special. I also heard something that Lublin had some of the highest attendances throughout the year. Like they had the highest overall attendance throughout the regular season, and that it was impossible to get tickets to their playoff games. Like they were selling out in seconds, like literal like seconds. I absolutely love it. I love bringing in a new team that has just completely upended the entire landscape of professional volleyball, and did it in such a unique way. Like this isn't a team that's gone out and just bought everything.
Right.
They've just built everything brick by brick really fucking fast.
Yeah, this is not like
they hired the Amish to build this shit. Like truly
a great foundation. This is not like Zarenspor in Turkey, who's like coming out the clouds with millions of euro thrown at places. That is not that at all. This is a built and completely ground up earned achievement by everybody in Lublin's front office, management, coaching staff, and on the court. Really, really just incredible. And like, I feel for Zavierce as a fan of theirs the whole season long. I mean, they did like kind of put it together in match number 3 that they won. Everett, you were right about the Hail Mary on Grozer, and he was incredible in match number 3. But what I was surprised by was that the foreigner they chose to bench was Luke Perry. And while that worked for them a little bit in match number 3 because Aaron Russell was good and they were able to just feed balls to more scorers, in match number 4 that really broke down without Luke Perry on the floor. And in the conversation of liberos that are most important to their teams, he deserves to be in there as well, because I don't think, I mean, hindsight's 2020 and the result is what it is, but if I were Winiarski, that is not what I would have done with that lineup given what they were going through.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough, right? Because you went out and won game 3 in that fashion, and you have to back that up. So you have to continue with that. I think it's just a tough spot for Zavierce to be in all around. It was always funny looking at them because I always viewed them, to me, all season long. Like I've used it as Yashemsky at the top, and then I had Zavierce and Vorshava just kind of flip-flopping, like in my mind. And on one side you have the depth, and the other side you have like the all-around
talent,
the top end talent at so many different positions from some Zavierce. So it's really tough to just see that. Like, it just shows how fragile that ecosystem was for them. And I still think that they did well, like, because they could have even not made this final, right?
Definitely.
They could have not made it here and had to play that whole bronze medal. And without Butrin, who knows if they'd be playing Champions League next year. So ultimately, it's really tough for them. But you know what? That's volleyball sometimes, and that's just sport.
That's sports.
And yeah. And yeah, I'm also just happy too because that is the first ever major championship for a Canadian who started and made a big impact. Because like last year, last year Scudetto won with Yashemsky, but he was the backup. Other guys have won in like smaller leagues, of course. Like other guys have won in like Germany and in France and in Turkey and in all of these other places. But Finn McCarthy, I'm pretty sure, is the first Canadian to win like a major league championship on the court. And I'm just happy as fuck for him. He had a great year.
Canadian man for sure. Like I mean, Kiera did it this year on the women's side with Vakifbank. That's a major league title for her. You're
right. I apologize. Thank you, Rob, for correcting me on that. First major Canadian man to win one, but it's awesome. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Lublin roster for next year. This is another thing too. Lublin choosing to run it mostly back. Only Benny Tweenstra isn't back. But they go out pick up, in my opinion, two massive pickups. Exactly.
Know this.
You're seeing this right now. You're seeing this right now. So they're going to pick up two guys from the NCAA, one new and one old. So they're picking up Hiller Heno. He's going to be way too French. He's going to be added to the squad, and they're picking up Dane and Gima. They're picking up Kofi.
Goodness,
so you could potentially have, and they're still keeping Grozanov. So it's going to be Kofi and McCarthy and Grozanov all fighting. I know that Finn and Kofi are boys. Like those two have they play like junior and shit together. Like they go way back, and like they play B team and stuff like that.
Leon Savitsky and Ilir Heno. That's an incredible roster. I love that so much.
I love the fact that they're running it back. Cool. They all of those guys that got them there, they're all going to go play Champions League. They're all going to be a part of that. But yeah, that's huge.
That is so cool. I'm so happy you brought that up. I had no idea that either of those moves were happening. Good for Lublin, man. Really good for them. What an achievement. And on the Zavierce side, their season's not over because they actually get to play Champions League this weekend, and that competition is a total toss-up. We'll talk about those semifinals in a minute. But anything else about the end of the PlusLiga season? Oh, one thing about the PlusLiga season, all-time record for the whole PlusLiga in attendance this year.
Amazing. I think it might have been their best season ever. Like it was my favorite league to watch, hands down, no doubt about it, without a doubt.
Totally agree. I mean that relegation race was insane with Lviv surviving at the very end. Like the playoffs were awesome. There was the Lublin start, then there was the crazy Resovia hot streak, and like both semifinal series were so awesome. Great time watching.
Yeah, I don't have time to reminisce on all this. Let's move on with this, Mr. St. Clair.
All right. Speaking of congratulating for titles, it's done. Woo! It has happened again for the second time in 3 years. Itas Trentino are the champions of the Scudetto. Congratulations to them. They were up 2-1 in the series when we did our show last week, and finally we got a legitimate banger of a match. Like this match last week Wednesday was awesome. Yeah, five setter on the road in Lube. Trentino gets it done 15-9 in the fifth, and Micheletto, the obvious MVP of the series and of the league, and that's 2 in 3 years. Hell of an achievement for Trentino, given all the talent that there is in that league, obviously.
Yeah, this was... I don't know if there's ever been such a dominant, like, singular person performance from one athlete to lead their team to a championship. Like I can't remember. Leon couldn't do it with
Wilfredo Leon. 2018 Champions League. Like that's the last one that comes to mind. Like that's the level of
because it's not a singular one person leading to them.
That Champions League final, it basically was one person. It basically was Leon by himself, but his team was better than this Trentino team was. Like this is a Micheletto carry
in terms of
in
terms of Superliga. I can't remember a championship. Like Leon couldn't get it done with Perugia, and Sergio was out there buying like all the top level talent for him. Like when Wantohena was winning 3 in a row with Lube, he had Simone and DeCecco beside him. So like this carry job that Micheletto did was incredible. He scored 27% of their points in the regular season. That was up to 30% in the playoffs, right? So he was out there scoring third of their points, putting the team on his back night in, night out. He had a 480 efficiency throughout the playoffs, which is absolutely unbelievable. He was averaging 0.6 aces per set throughout. Like, he was absolutely dominant and doing it in the most efficient way possible too.
16 for 24 with 2 errors only and 4 aces and 2 blocks in the decider in a 5-setter, 22 points. Like that is a carry job. And we're not talking about just a title. We're talking about the entire season. Like you said, he was ridiculous.
And over this is the stat that is the craziest to me, Rob. In the regular season, he led the league he had the lowest average errors per set. So throughout the regular season per set, for this is like errors and blocking, he was averaging only 0.702 errors per set. In the playoffs, that went down to a 651. 0.651 errors per set.
Attacking errors, like attack minus points per set, you mean?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. Like that level of clean volleyball, but also terminating at such a high rate is crazy.
Right. Yeah. He's terminating. Like, he was in the playoffs, he was hitting at like I think like a 540. He wasn't like incredibly high in terms of hitting percentage.
You just muted yourself. I didn't do that. You did that.
Oh, am I still muted?
No, now you're back. Yeah,
okay.
We've put together some stats about Micheletto's last couple regular seasons, and they're insane. Just the volume and the efficiency. That's the combination of those two things that really does it. And then you watch him play these games, and what he's doing on the eye test is stuff that nobody else is doing. It's so easy.
No.
And
his bag of shots is too deep.
It's amazing.
Is too deep. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I don't think we can't only talk about Micheletto here. I think it was like the entire way that all of Trentino plays. Rich Licky on the right side. I thought Lavia was really, really, like, Lavia being good in that final game is what pushed them over the way that they did.
Yeah.
Like,
Lavia in match 4, 13 points, 10 for 22, 2 errors, 3 aces. Got ace 5 times, but otherwise really, really good. Like, if he hadn't been super good all playoffs, if he doesn't have that good of a game, we're talking about a match 5 right now for sure.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And Lube was loading up for it a little bit as well too. But
yeah, they were. The other defining moment, at least in match number 4, the defining moment to me was the comeback in set number 2 on Micheletto's serve. They were down 20. Yeah, they were down 23-20, and Micheletto went back there, ripped an ace, got 2 more. Trentino had 24-23, and then they won it in overtime. That to me was like, all right, that there is a man on this team that the other team simply cannot and will never have an answer for. And it reminded me a little bit of what Moni Nikolov did for Long Beach the other night. That level of clutch time, being the guy, felt similar to me, and that's a very high compliment for Micheletto.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can stop him right now.
No.
Right? I truly think that he just has a bag that's way deeper than anyone else, and this is why we call him the unicorn. Truly, though.
Yeah, and it's funny that, like, Barnett and Sunderland were calling Moni Nikolov the unicorn in the NCAAs on Monday night, so he was, like, fulfilling a similar role from a different position, but, like, that level of being the guy, it's just irreplaceable. Micheletto and Leon both deserve that mantle right now. On the Lube side, speaking of people named Nikolov, Alex was insane in match number 4. 18 for 30, 2 blocks, 3 aces. Did the best he could for sure, but Everett, you've talked about it. We don't want to rile up our Turkish fans too much, but not a good game from Adis Lagumja in a series decider. Not by any means.
I just think he's a little one-dimensional. Especially when you look at how the game has evolved. I don't think that it's a coincidence that Lube's biggest result of the year came with him on the bench.
Italian Cup win when they went 3 outsides.
The Italian Cup win. I think they won that Perugia series in spite of him. I mean, I did a full breakdown video of it that you're not allowed to watch anymore.
Yeah, that's right. He had a couple really good individual games, but it was, I mean, Lube's serving won them that series, and then in match 4 here, they went 9 aces, 30 errors. They just gave 30 points away for free. So like that's more the storyline on the Lube side. But I think your take about Lagumja and his play style and his limitations is correct. He's an old school opposite, trying to play modern volleyball and find places for him, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And in match,
and he's not even like an old school in terms of like a big banger, you know, like he doesn't have like an arm or like Rozier or like a Clay Stanley. Like he doesn't have like the length and the consistency of like the shots. Like his shot selection is truly really limited, right? His line shot is 50-50 at best with very little power, and he can only like hit high sharp cross or sharper cross. And I mean, like I would have told you at the beginning of the season that Lagumja was miles ahead of a guy like Linus Weber, and now I would switch that completely. Like I think Weber has way more shots and way more in his bag than a guy like Addis Lagumja.
Weber definitely has more range. I agree with that. I don't know about the consistency, but it's.
I really think that. I don't know. I really doubt how much Warszawa you've watched this year. If you thought that Weber has been inconsistent this season, I thought he's been phenomenal, and his consistency has been the big thing for me. That has changed it. But I digress. I just don't think that Lagumja is really that elite, and I think that you're going to see that. It's going to be very interesting to see Turkey play if they're going to go with him or if they're going to go with Gerbuz.
Well, it's good for them to have two options because they are going to need both of them in VNL if they want to have any amount of success. But I don't know. We don't need to talk about that yet. We're talking about Lube here. Second this year with that roster is an outstanding season.
They keep on doing this, Rob. They keep doing this.
They do it. They keep doing it.
Right?
They keep doing it.
This is a quality organization that knows how to win, and they know how to win, and they know how to develop guys. Bonifonte, the way that he progressed this year, outstanding, unreal.
Really
Botolo. Botolo has to be P2. We know he won't because Di Giorgio will be sitting around not changing an absolute damn thing like it's Italian cooking or something, and we can't change what grandma made, but he should be the P2 for Italy.
So Italy's coming to Chicago for VNL. If they walk into my city and they roll out Gianelli, Micheletto, and Lavia for every single game, I might have to boycott them. It's going to drive me insane. But Mattia Botolo,
I will say that there is a lot of Canada versus Italy exhibition games in Canada this summer.
Yes, there are. There are two in Gatineau. I saw them on the calendar today.
But that's not until later in June. I don't think I can be there.
Is it like right before the Quebec City or after? Or
actually,
it might be right before
Quebec
Chicago. That's a weird one.
Chicago's later on, but it's when I'm at a bachelor party. So, but maybe I'll leave my camera there in Gatineau. But there is one before Quebec City that I'm going to be. That I'm going to.
Making good friends between Canada and Italy over there. Congratulations to Trentino again. They played fantastic volleyball. I do think that Mattia Botolo, I'm trying to think the whole league. Is there, other than Alessandro Micheletto, was Botolo the best left side in the league this year?
Probably.
It's probably either him or Plotnitsky.
We have Plotnitsky, I don't think he was like yes, he was good. In terms of like impact for his team, I think it's Botolo, for sure. I know there's a lot of NPCs. There's a lot, like I got a sneak preview of our community ran season awards. Guys, like what's going on over there?
Are we gonna do?
Yeah, that's a next week thing.
Show?
No, that's a next week. That's a next week thing for sure. I don't have the time to get into it, but we're gonna need to have some talk about the Perugia favoritism we have going on in our Discord right now. No. It's a little bad.
I wonder why that could be. Could it be of one?
It's honestly not. No, it's not what you think.
Okay,
it's not what you think.
Foreshadowing for next week's show, we will unveil the community's season-long awards for all the different leagues. We're looking forward to that.
Just to put a disclaimer on it, I don't even vote in it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, neither do I.
This is how I'm not a part of these awards. But
Nope,
this is for the community.
We are truly only the messengers on that one. Anything else about Trentino and their success and their win, or anything else about this Superliga season?
Lorenzano sucks.
Ouch.
I'm not going to elaborate either. Actually, I will. He, like, when you look at his stats, he has good passes, sure, and his like perfect passing rating is up there amongst the best. But he also had more like almost like more than double the amount of negative passes that Micheletto had this season. Like when you look at his passing numbers, they are terrible. If anyone ever tells me again, after like breaking his game down in the video and looking like diving into his stats a little bit more on volumetrics, if anyone ever says again that Lorenzano should be the libero for Italy over Balasso, you can walk yourself out of the Discord, please and thank you.
Who has ever said that?
I don't know.
Lorenzano in this deciding game actually was very good. 43% positive, 35% perfect, one error only in 5 sets. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, this is our show. You can be a hater if you want to. There's nothing stopping you.
I am
totally respect that. There is one Italian team that still has volleyball to play this season. It is not Trentino. It's Perugia. It's time to preview the finale of the 2025 club season. It is the men's Champions League Final Four. It is going down this weekend in Łódź, Poland. Match number 1 is on Friday. It is at 2 p.m. Eastern. It is Halkbank Ankara versus Perugia. I'm fascinated by this Champions League ever because I have absolutely no clue what's going to happen. I have no idea who's going to win.
This it's just coming so far out of left field, and it's also because it's been so long since we've done anything and talked anything Champions League related. But this one, this match in particular, I'm really excited for because you've got two bull teams you've got two teams here who are built to bully everyone else and didn't. You've got two wounded bullies here who are just going to be have been charging up. And those cars, those toy cars that you would pull back and then you would charge them up, and the more you would hold it back, the more you would charge it up, and you would let it go, and bam. That's what both of these teams have been, right? Halkbank got 9th. They were just terrible. Now, there is a big thing. Is Micah Ma'a healthy?
Yes.
Is Micah...
As far as I know, the answer is yes. Micah Ma'a is going to play on Friday.
Yeah, Burkai just even said Ma'a and Matic are finally
healthy.
Yeah,
that's good news. It wouldn't be
on paper. On paper, you still have two phenomenal teams here.
Yeah, definitely, and
I know that neither of them made their respective finals, but you're still got Perugia, who's still Perugia with Semeniuk and Plotnitsky and Ishikawa and Bentara and Gianelli and Herrera, who's looking someone needs to do a PED test on Herrera, please. I heard he's not playing Nations League this year, and I wonder why. Because he does not want to get drug tested. 100%. 100%. Go back and watch any video of Herrera. He is yoked everywhere. He's huge. But yeah, and then on the other side you have Halkbank. You still have this Halkbank team. You
have another Cuban psychopath on that team. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So this game could go Leal could it could be Perugia 25-13, 25-10, and then all of a sudden it'll be 23-17. The third Leal will go back to serve, and then Halkbank will have won the match. So yeah, there's so much that could happen in this match, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, this
also I'm happy that it's the Friday match too, because I'm going to watch this on my way up to camp.
Nice. Yeah, this is truly unpredictable. Perugia, we've seen more recently. They took down Piacenza for 3rd in the Superliga, and then that's all nice. But Halkbank, since their incredible win in the quarterfinals in that golden set, all they've done is be a complete and total disaster. We documented it on one of our shows, but don't remember ever. I had to remind myself of this today. Remember that Radostin Stoichev is the one that's coaching them in this Final Four.
But here's the thing, though.
He has been in charge of preparing this team to try and win a Champions League.
But there's no preparation, you know, like, for some reason, I just think it can work. You know, like these crazy guys always do a little bit to charm you at first, right? It's like dating the crazy guy. It's like dating the psycho stalker. Like he always seems nice at first. It can always work out at first, and that's all they need.
Well, it'll take a little bit of crazy, but another thing that we've said about Halkbank is that the shorter the competition, the better chance they have, and this
100%.
is one match do or die the rest of the way.
Exactly. Leao just doesn't need to, like, Leao can hold off from punching people in bars for like a couple of weekends, and then we'll be fine.
Yes, you've got Leal. We even have Mirza Lagumja on that team who's been completely forgotten about. Maybe Stoichev likes him more than Kolakovic did. You got Dick Coy, who's had good matches. Shotala has been unhealthy, but he's really important. Like,
Dick
I have
Coy's
no idea.
skeleton has been super good this year.
He has,
for some reason, like on and off. But yeah, I think I'm more excited for this one than I am for the other semifinal, the All Poland semifinal.
It is really unpredictable across the board. And speaking of the All Polish semifinal, it is on Saturday at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. Call that 9 a.m. Eastern because we know how Polsat likes to draw out the beginnings of their games on TV. The All Polish semifinal, Jastrzębski versus Zawiercie. This is the last ride for this JSW team. This is it. This weekend is it. They took fourth domestically. They have had their close calls in the Champions League with this group, with Fornal, with Huber, with Toniutti, with Kaczmarek. This is it because the band's breaking up after this weekend. So if they've got any magic left and they've got like anything that they can prove about one match scenarios, which they did prove a little bit by winning the Polish Cup after failing in that format for so many times before that, this is the last ride for this Jastrzębski Węgiel team. And I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of magic in that. And then the huge question on the Zawiercie side is health. Can Karol Butryn play in this game, or is it going to be Kyle Ensing? And also, like, can Yuri Glotter play in this game? I think he didn't play in the last couple matches of the final, but another one that I think is really unpredictable.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because it's the two teams, like they haven't played each other in it's the only two teams who haven't played each other in like of the top four teams in Poland. I think the health thing is going to be really, really, really important. Also for Zawiercie, like not for Zawiercie, sorry, for Jastrzębski, like do they have Popiciak? Do they have their libero? Great question. Right, like we also forget that he suffered. Like this year was the injury to liberos playoffs.
Yeah, it was.
We saw three different liberos go down. It was the Zawiercie guy who was hands down the worst, and he was the oldest too. So that really sucks for him. But yeah, it like if you have the young Jurczyk as libero for Jastrzębski, even without having Butryn, they may have a chance. Maybe.
Oh, Zawiercie. Zawiercie definitely has a chance. They have no foreigner limit constraints, which obviously was a huge deal for them down the stretch in the playoffs. They do not have Grozer. Grozer is not eligible to play Champions League, so it'll either be Ensing or Butryn if he's healthy, and I do not know the latest on that. But there's nothing stopping them playing Tavares, Perry, and Russell. So we expect to have everybody else. The only question is opposite, and then JSW definitely question mark for Popivchak. I'm glad you reminded us of that. But this is a coin flip. The last time they played, I think, at least in a big match, was the Polish Cup final, and JSW beat them 3-1. They played in the Super Cup at the very beginning of the season, and Zawiercie beat them 3-2. So definitely a score to settle here on a really big stage in Łódź. I assume the crowd's going to be awesome. It's like Saturday afternoon in Poland, and it'll be a big deal. I mean, we have to make some picks on all of this, Everett. I have no clue what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to go with Zawiercie and Perugia. That's my throwing something on the wall, and we'll see if it sticks.
No, I think it's going to be Jastrzębski and Perugia.
Okay.
I think if Jastrzębski doesn't, like, that's such a disaster for this team, and that has gone to, like, of all these years that they've been like so-called great, like what have they been able to accomplish?
Like they've won the Polish Cup a few times. They've won the PlusLiga.
They won the PlusLiga twice. So that was nice. But they
three times. They've won the PlusLiga
times?
3 times in the past 4 years.
Oh yeah,
remember one of the years that Zaksa won it, or won the Champions League, they turned around and lost to Yashemsky in the PlusLiga playoffs. Right.
That's right. The PlusLiga ended after Champions League that one year. That was a very weird year. Yeah, I've got Zavierche. I've had some level of success being a fan of theirs all season. I might as well stick with it. Then who do you got in the final? If you've got Perugia JSW in the final, who wins it all?
I'm gonna go Yashemsky. I'm
really?
gonna say JSW. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, this is really unpredictable, but I just don't see a world where that team puts it together in 2 matches in a row.
I mean, I don't either, really, but I don't want to vote for Perugia. That's my problem right now. I don't know why, but I'm feeling particularly anti-Perugia right now for no particular reason.
Okay, then
no reason whatsoever.
Then for similarly no reasons, I'll go on the other side of it and I'll pick Perugia to win the Champions League. Okay,
good. Yeah,
I think. I don't really even think they'll get it done, but I'm going to pick that they will, and we'll see what happens. Total crapshoot. I think that'll make it fun to watch. I hope it's entertaining, and I hope like the details and the production of the event as a whole in Łódź are a little bit better than they were on the women's side. And I know that they'll pack the stands because it's Poland, so that's good. Yes, we are haters sometimes, and we reserve the right to do that because this is our show. Deal with it. Anything else about Champions League?
No, that's it. I will not be doing any watch-alongs. Actually, that's not entirely true. Maybe if I'm feeling really cheeky, I'll do a watch-along from my car on the way up to camping. Just for the fun of it.
The number of technical difficulties that you will experience if you attempt to do that will be hilarious. Actually, please do.
What?
Give it a shot. You can't even get a microphone on the 9x9. There's no way you can do a stream from the car. No chance.
It would be like the mic situation would be the one thing that I think would hold me back. But otherwise, like I have power in my car. I could just, I bring my laptop.
I would love to see you attempt that. Driving through where you camping, like middle of nowhere, Northern Ontario, driving through there, trying to get hotspot signal. Like no chance.
Just south of North Bay. So
no chance, dog.
We'll see. We'll see what's up. I will be going with my buddy Dave, and recently we found out that like he grew up a little bit in Ottawa, and he's a little bit older than me, and he actually played club for the same club as me. I didn't even know he liked volleyball, and I was like, you know who I am, and like you know what I do, and you haven't. The whole other conversation. It's like, come on, man.
Well, speaking of conversations that just have to be had. We got to talk about Daddy. We got to talk about Daddy Stankovic. As part of the Where's Daddy segment, my favorite part of my week is getting to Photoshop this beautiful man somewhere random in the show, and y'all got to try and find out where he is. And the way you do that is you comment the timestamp of where you first see Daddy in the main YouTube comment section of our videos after the show is over. And if you do that, you get a shout out the following week. Last week, we were talking about the event that was the Women's Champions League Final Four. And just see a nice little sort of wide shot of inside the venue. But if you zoom in closer, who is it there? Keeping a watchful eye from above over the entire event. That's Daddy Stankovic on the bottom of the Jumbotron. You like that one?
I definitely did not see that one. So dumb.
I know, it's awesome. I'm trying to be more, without spoiling where I'm going to hide him in future episodes, I'm trying to be more creative about not just putting him on someone else's shoulders, but putting him in weird different places. So this was a good one. Our friend Luke D found him, said, I legit had to scroll through all the assets and zoom in, but I found Daddy watching over the finals on the Jumbotron. And then an even better one from Ozzy. This is an all-time comment. Our Zaddy, who art in Modena, Stankovic be thy name. He will watch down upon the Women's Champions League Final Four from on high, and lo, he saw that it was good. Really putting the religious spin on Daddy Stankovic. Maybe he's ascended.
I really think that Ozzy missed out really badly there. Is that he should have said he saw that it was lame.
It was lame.
It would have continued the rhyme, and it was a lame Champions League. So I'm only giving half scores for that.
I like the creativity. Yes, I'm aware that Daddy has a son named Luca. I want to know what country he's going to play for. He's going to play for Serbia. He's going to play for Italy.
Ooh. Yeah, is there going to be a Stankovic on Italy? Italy loves having the guys who play like with other
they do.
names, eh?
Yes, they do.
So
yeah. keep an eye out for Daddy. He's going to show up in the show somewhere this week. Make sure you don't put it in the live chat. Wait for the video to be over and comment in the main YouTube comment section. Also, Everett, fun announcement from last week that volleyballstore.com is back.
It is back. Use the code SPICY to get 15% off of your entire order. And I would suggest if you've ever been eyeing anything, like snatch it up now because shit's be changing.
In a good way.
Changing.
We're gonna have
shit. Should be just should be changing.
Should be changing.
Yeah. Also, this is also going to be my time to be a YouTuber and to be like, can you please like the fucking video, please? Like, give us a like. I don't understand why our views are going up and our likes are going down and our comments and people are telling us that it's great. Just give us a like. It's the cheapest way to support us.
Actually, it is.
Otherwise, another way that you could support us is, turning off your ad blocker. That would be really helpful. Here's a good way. If you have a desktop at home, go into our playlist, select the 9x9, click the playlist, click play, turn off your ad blocker. You can give us views throughout the day. You don't even have to watch us. You don't even have to put up with us. You don't even have to watch the ads, but it'll make us money. And we'll get to do it more. So that's the way we all win.
Yep. All of this is true.
Give us a like. Head over to thatvolleyballstore.com. Use code SPICY for 15% off. And moving on, Rob, to some North American shit.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it. The only thing left in all of Europe all year is Champions League, and then the stupid Marmara Spike League. France is dumb, but we got to talk about the States. France is dumb.
Yes.
We got to talk about the States.
But over the States, a lot of shit happened. You want to start with PVF over here?
I do want to start with the PVF. I want to
That's
congratulate
wild.
Mostly because I want to spend more time on the NCAA. I want to congratulate the Orlando Valkyries. They won the second ever Pro Volleyball Federation Championship, the first in their team's history, obviously. They took down the Atlanta Vibe 3-1 in the semis in Vegas. They beat the Indy Ignite 3-1 in the final. Brittany Abercrombie was named MVP of the entire league, which was extremely well-deserved. She was an absolute scoring machine.
It had to be the way she played this year.
Total no-brainer. Pornpoon Gwentpard, the tie setter, was the MVP of just the finals, and that was also well-deserved. She was absolutely slinging it. This was really fun to watch. It's a $1 million check that Orlando takes home to cap off the PVF season, and I was pretty impressed by the event, by the broadcast, by the production, and this was cool. The landscape in American volleyball is going to continue to develop, but we got to congratulate the teams on their success and how well they played. And my darlings from Indy played well, but they came up just short.
Honestly, there's a few things I have to say. This first and foremost, I think this was the least likely outcome in my head. It truly was,
but
especially when they
lost.
Especially when they lost Adora Anae. I was like, yo, this team, they are no longer in contention in my head. Brittany Abercrombie has been the ultimate champion. Let's remember that she was also won Athletes Unlimited before coming into this. So she won Athletes Unlimited, jumps onto the Valkyries, and really goes on a fantastic ride. I think Pornpoon brought in so much, and I think it really shows the gap in terms of where setters are missing, North American wise, to the international stages. Like Pornpoon put on an absolute clinic. And I will have to say that I actually really enjoyed the PVF this year, and I watched way more of it, and it followed along way more than I had expected to, and I really enjoyed what it was this year. And I really hope that whatever they're doing, they are able to continue to do it, because I think that they're just trying to do things the right way and set up some good blocks. And I'm not at all saying that League One isn't trying to do it the right way. I'm just trying to think that they're trying to do things a different way, and it also can be working. But I do want to give the PVF as an organization their flowers for what they've done for women, like just women's volleyball in general. And yeah, it was like I hope it comes back next year. I hope we have 3. If like I think the PVS has a bigger chance of coming back than that other league. To be perfectly honest.
Then no, that I kind of wanted to talk about that. I mean, we need to celebrate the volleyball that was played. Brittany Abercrombie. I want Brittany Abercrombie's numbers in the final: 31 points, 27 for 62 attacking, which is ridiculous.
But only three errors on
3 errors,
which
is equally amazing on that much volume, and 3 blocks and an ace. So congratulations to her. She really was awesome. Just that left arm just carving people. It was fun to watch her. It is kind of funny if you want to think about it this way, that the Omaha Supernovas, who thought about themselves so highly after winning the league last year and dominating the attendance, they thought about themselves so highly that they announced that they were leaving the league in the middle of the year, and they got beat in the semifinals by a brand new team from Indy. So that's funny and interesting. And then who the hell knows what's going to happen from here? Is like MLV, Major League Volleyball, whatever it stands for, is that actually going to exist and create itself and create teams and pull the Omaha Supernovas away? And are they going to produce volleyball in like 8 months from now? I honestly have no clue. Something's going to happen. I don't know what it is, but for now, volleyball was played, and there was no volleyball played at this level in the States just a couple years ago. So this is good for now.
Exactly. You know what? We if you want to have another entire episode where we can talk about all that other stuff, Rob, let's do it. I'd be down, but just not right now.
Yeah.
I got things to get to.
Yeah. Right now is not the time. But again, congratulations to Orlando, and their franchise gets $1 million cool dollars richer. So very good for them.
A lot of money for volleyball.
It is. That's a huge amount of money for volleyball. Staying in the States. Big one here. If Everett can stop making noise on his desk that everybody around the planet can hear. Congratulations to Long Beach State for winning the NCAA Men's National Championship on Monday night in Columbus. A 3-dong over UCLA in the final, and they have broken the streak, or at least like potentially continued, but they stopped UCLA's three-peat, and the crazy streak of teams now only winning 2 national championships in a row is still alive if Long Beach were to win it next year. But they will likely have to do that without one of the greatest NCAA men's volleyball players of all time. And he had that level of impact in just 1 year, and that's Moni Nikolov. And this kid, who was named National Player of the Year last week, which everybody could have saw coming from a million miles away. This kid was so great that they lost 3 matches all year long. He was one of, I think, the second freshman ever to win National Player of the Year behind only his brother. He caps it off with a national championship. In that national championship game, first point of the match, he served an ace. Last point of the match, he kills an overpass. He made the comeback in set number 2, which UCLA was up by at least 4 points in set number 2. I
thought we were going to have a game.
I thought we were
actually going to have a game there too when I was watching it, and then he went back and
and completely turned the game on its head. And then to win that second set, 24-23, goes up and gets a crazy tight pass with one hand at the top of the antenna, and then McRaven in the middle bounced it to win it. Like, just the guy. I've never seen a setter make that level of an impact on the game of volleyball as what Moni Nikolov did this year. And the rest of Long Beach State deserves a lot of credit, but Moni was the guy. He was the guy in a way that we hardly have ever seen.
He made it look like he was playing against high schoolers.
He did.
Like, that's what it made it look like, right? Like, he made everyone look silly. And great job by Long Beach all around. You know, big shout out to my guy Vargas.
That'd be Varga, Sask boy.
Varga. Yeah, sorry, Varga. But like this was Nikolov.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't even know how much you can say. Like that one edit that Nikoba made, like Josh Nikoba, dude.
What a monster he
about
is.
What a monster. I wake up and it's like the next morning from the national championship. He's already posted like 7 reels and done like millions of views already.
The game of volleyball. Volleyball
Yeah.
doesn't deserve Nikoba right now, man. He is too good for us. He's so awesome. But yeah,
like that one clip where he makes and he's just like, and someone asks him, like, you know, what were you thinking about? He's like, oh, I just went back there and tossed it up because I knew no one could handle my serves.
Just
and that's
100%
exactly
facts.
what it was. He set the single season serving record as well, and he's going to be the greatest one and done in the history of the NCAA men's volleyball. That's like
ever.
Yeah, there's no other way to do it. The other best setter that we've seen come out of the NCAA recently, like of his caliber, like you have to go back to Micah Christensen, and Micah Christensen never won a championship.
That's correct.
You know, like no offense to Micah Ma'a and Josh Chuaniga, they are not the caliber of setter. They didn't have the caliber of impact that Moni Nikolov had, not only on their team but on volleyball as a whole. You have never seen a singular player make that much of an impact on men's volleyball in the States.
That's absolutely right. And that's why it's such a bummer that he's 99% out the door next year.
Yeah.
It would take an utter miracle to keep him at Long Beach. And
but it would also be a disservice to him. Like, let's
I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Selfishly, I think it would be awesome if he stayed. I understand why he would not. It would be
it would be a regression in his career for him to stay in the NCAA.
So I don't agree with that, but it doesn't matter. He had one of the greatest seasons of all time. He set
as a freshman.
And
it looked like he was fucking around the entire time
because he was set the all-time NCAA ace record. He had, what did he have? 11 points in a 3-set match in the final from the setter position. Like, that's outrageous. And I wouldn't even say he attacked the ball that well. He went 6 for 10 and made 3 errors. But the 4 aces were insane, especially the ones in set 2 to make the comeback, and the blocking ability and the size, and just like the way that he just scrambles the brains of opposing blockers and defenders. No other setter I've ever seen commands attention like that and makes opposing blockers' jobs such a nightmare. He really is. He completely changed their game this year. And I think that, well, I need a couple more people on Long Beach I need to give credit to before I talk about UCLA, because there's a lot of things to talk about there. You talked about Skylar Varga. I don't think it's been talked about enough that the dude can play 3 positions. He was their starting opposite last year. He was their starting left side all this year. He did an awesome job in reception, and the kid can set. I think he was a setter growing up, and like in weird situations last year where they would take people off the floor, he would come in and like set in system. So I was impressed by his versatility. This kid, Alex Kondev, is going to be a problem for Bulgaria in a couple years. Definitely keep an eye on him at the left side position. I thought he was super good. And then Nato Dickinson, who came in on the right side in place of Hrstanovic, the Canadian kid, because of injury. Like, Long Beach was missing at least 2, maybe even 3 starters because of injury in this national championship, but they were so deep, and they had the one obviously great player. But everybody else did their jobs extremely well.
They didn't have Stepanis either.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, it's really surprising that like Long Beach was able to win it when they had to bring Americans onto the floor and get rid of their international players. But ultimately, it's because Moni Nikolov was just the best player.
Yep.
In the NCAA, and like I really think that like I've heard that it's like 1 Polish team, 4 Italian teams, and Lokomotiv, or no, sorry, 2 Polish teams, Lokomotiv, and 4 Italian teams that are going after him right now, and that makes perfect sense. Like, he should be playing amongst the best, and I get to see him week 1 live in person at VNL. So
Quebec
hang out with me in Quebec City. Yeah,
that will be awesome. I want to talk about UCLA for a second. For a second, because I got to go. Yeah, they won the last 2 titles. They were on a great run. They went through a lot this year with like the fires in Pacific Palisades and a brand new head coach coming in at the last second.
Fires, yeah.
That was a terrible job in preparation and game planning in the final. They were clueless. I do not know what they were doing with. So they brought in Zach Rama to play opposite because they were having opposite issues. They decided to put their 3 best wings on the floor, and they brought in this freshman Sean Kelly at outside who's really good. They had Rama lined up at opposite. I don't know what they were doing setting Kelly D balls ever. They were switching their guys between the Bick and the D ball, which made no sense, in such a way that every time they set a right side ball, it was either a stuff block or an error. That by the end of the match, Varga, the left side blocker, was commit blocking on the middle. You were getting trap blocked against in the national championship game because you couldn't establish a right side. It was terrible. Also, you couldn't connect to the middle. I was watching in Chicago at a bar nearby with some volleyball people, and I said at the beginning of the game that the way that UCLA would have to win that national championship was if Cameron Thorne, the middle, got 15 or more attempts. That's because the game would have to go long enough, and they'd have to pass the ball well enough and have the intention to get him involved in the offense. He finished 4 for 9 with 3 errors. He was not good enough, but that was the worst match Andrew Rowan has set in his career. He was not good. He did not locate the ball well, and he did not make good decisions.
To me, it really shut up all of the keyboard warriors. Would be like, well, actually, Andrew Rowan's actually just a better center. Moni Nikolov just serves the ball really, really well. He's actually just more of a server. He's like the male version of Micah Hancock. No, he's not. I'm sorry. Andrew Rowan he's pretty good. He's all right. Like,
he's good.
He's good.
He's won 2 national championships. He's going to be a really good player. He had a bad match on a big stage in the national championship final, and that just is what it is.
How many like Jakob Tella has won 2 national championships, and what is he doing now?
He's chilling in Hawaii.
Yeah, he's not even playing pro volleyball anymore. So
no, he's not. Cooper Robinson was the only guy on UCLA that had a pulse in the final. I thought he was really good, and I'm excited about his chances as a pro. I don't want to sound mean. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I kind of do.
Be mean. Fuck it. Be mean.
Hawaii fans, deal with it, dude. Shut up, Hawaii fans. Shut up, every one of you. I've been trying to tell y'all all year long that this particular Hawaii team, I'm not saying Hawaii is a program. This Hawaii team was terrible on the mainland. Terrible.
Yeah.
They lost a set. I know they got donged by UCLA in the semis. They played bad. They deserved to lose. The worst part, you lost a set to Penn State. Hawaii, take a look in the mirror and figure out how to play on the mainland, because the national championship is not going to be on Oahu anytime soon. That group's got to figure out how to play away from the stand. They were not good. What else was not good was the broadcast until Monday night when Sunderland and Barnett got there and got on the mic on ESPN2. That was the worst volleyball commentary I have ever heard in my whole life. And that is saying something.
We've heard some pretty atrocious
that
volleyball
was
commentary.
The worst I have ever heard.
The worst.
It
There's
was.
No way.
It was. It was the worst that I ever heard. The 2 random dudes on Thursday, and then the 1 random dude paired with some random girl on Saturday were the worst I had ever heard.
I think
NCAA.
They didn't call you.
Well, I am. They call. I did it the year before. What are we doing? I'm not surprised. Like men's volleyball in America is a Mickey Mouse sport. But
volleyball is volleyball. Volleyball is volleyball.
Make decisions like that. I mean,
it's going on a T-shirt, people.
Oh, it is. The people that make those decisions don't care about growing the game. So, like, when people on Instagram are angry, like, "Oh, how are we supposed to grow the game like this?" The people that make those decisions don't care about growing the game. The angle on the commentary thing is like that. It's up to the production company that does the games to hire the talent, and they are just fulfilling a contractual obligation because they don't care. But their product will be better, and they will have a better chance of being retained and getting more gigs if their broadcast is better. So you should hire talent that doesn't suck. That's the angle that you all should be taking on social media. So whatever. It also, the championship game was on a Monday. The NCAA likes to do this. They do it for football and basketball, and I don't like it.
I don't mind it. Nothing's happening on a Monday. I thought it was electric, right? Like, if it was Sunday afternoon, I wouldn't have watched it, right? Because I would have been out doing things. But because I was on a Monday night, hell yeah, I turned that on. I made like a night of it. I was making dinner for Sam to watch it. She was playing Switch beside me, but it was fine. Like, I love that it was on a Monday night. Like, I want more of that, right? Like, for me, with the women's being on it's time of year, it's a little different too. But the women's being on a Sunday afternoon is just,
Yeah, especially during football season.
Yeah,
too.
that's
Bro.
a real tough one during football season.
Give us Monday night. You know, yeah.
So
because it's during like the women's always during the playoffs too. So there's no Monday night playoff game.
Right, that's true. So that's it. That's a wrap for men's NCAA. Congrats to Moni Nikolov, one of the great NCAA players of all time. Oh, dude, that is way too soon. Way too soon. That's a tough one. Already the transfer portal is flooding. Like half of GCU's team is already signed to go to BYU next year. So that program is not coming back. And to be honest, it doesn't deserve to come back. GCU does not deserve that program.
Yeah, fuck GCU. I heard
that university. It keeps getting worse.
Took away the assistant. Yeah, they took away the assistant severance.
They fired Brian Delamico, the AVCA assistant coach of the year. They fired him after cutting the program so they wouldn't have to pay him severance. That university makes $200 million a year.
No, I heard it's because he talked shit about them. Like he had severance and it got taken away.
Did you hear? Yeah, that's right. Did you hear? Did you listen to the interview that they referenced for him talking shit? I know. I listened to every word of it. He did a phenomenal job. Very politely, matter of fact, not emotional, not at all talking trash. He was speaking the truth, and he lost all of his money for it. And I know for a fact that he is pursuing legal action, and I intend to interview him and talk to him about this. So
let's do it.
GCU rant.
Let's get it on the fucking let's do it. Like
I know.
When are you scheduling this?
That's the plan. I'm waiting to hear from him, but that is the plan. I've been in touch with some people. Also in the States, shout out to the Chicago Icemen in the Volleyball League of America. We had a good event on Sunday. 62 teams, Everett Delorme. 62 teams. We did a 44-team men's single elimination bracket over 3 days. It was pretty sick. The Icemen are 18-0. They're the only team to start a VLA season undefeated for this long ever. And they have a chance to win a championship in like 3 weeks. So that was a good event. You should go back and watch the final, and just another option for men's volleyball in the States that you should support. That's it.
All right. Nice. All righty. That will be it for this week's show, ladies and gentlemen. I do have one other announcement to make.
Let's hear it.
I no longer work for Volleyball World. I'm not really going to get into it. Not really going to say much else about that, but I am no longer an employee of Volleyball World. And everything I do at this time, not entirely sure about the future, but for right now, we'll all be Volleyball Source. Just wanted to make sure everyone knows that and clear anything up.
Yep. Onward and upward. So our next show will be on Tuesday. We will recap Champions League. We will unveil our end of season awards, and then we will let all y'all know kind of the plan that we've got for national team season, because hopefully by next week all of the men's VNL rosters will be out. All the women's ones are already out, but we've got a lot of plans on our kind of dedicated pre-recorded preview videos that we're going to do, and some live streams for some stuff, and how we're going to incorporate that all into the 9x9. So on next week's show on Tuesday, we will officially turn the corner towards national team season, which is coming up very, very soon. So look forward to that. Make sure you join the Volleyball Source Discord for national team season. It's going to be really important. Kick it off with Champions League this weekend. We will see you all in there. And like Everett said earlier, help us out on the channel as best you can. Give us a thumbs up,
baby.
Give us a like.
Give us a like.
Leave us a comment. Tell your volleyball friends about our show. Tell your volleyball friends about our Discord. Do the trick, like Everett said, like leave our 9x9 playlist on loop. And
okay, I mean, you don't actually do that. That's
you can do that. You can do that
if you want to. That helps. That would help a lot.
It would.
It would help on the algorithm quite a bit, but you don't have to. Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. Y'all are awesome. Everett and I both have places to go be, so we're gonna go do that.
Yeah. All right. Bye. Peace.